if you are looking for a good trade setup, this weekly analysis is for you. So let's get started with our weekly analysis. First, we'll be looking at the dollar index. The dollar index on my daily chart still have this uptrend structure. You can see we still have a lower low and a series of higher low. So we see how this series of higher low, which indicates we see expect price to move to this next resistance on the daily chart. So we see expect that bullish momentum on the dollar index. So long the dollar index have a bullish momentum, we expect more strong dollar this week. So let's look at the weekly chart of the dollar index. So on my weekly chart, you can see that our previous candlestick on the weekly chart closed on a weekly support level. So long we have price on this weekly support level, we see expect the dollar to push to this strong resistance level on the weekly chart before we can see any possible reversal of trend or resumption on downtrend on the dollar index. So we expect price to move to this next resistance level. A break of this resistance, we expect more push, but if price fail, we expect price to resume downtrend from that particular level. So let's go back to our daily chart. So our scenario for the dollar index now, for buying scenario, we expect price to break this high, then wait for retest, look for possible buying opportunity to this strong weekly level. So for the sell scenario, we wait for price to break below this level, then wait for retest, look for the sell to the downside. So our scenario for this week still remain bullish because price on the weekly close on support level. So we look for more buying opportunity instead of selling this week. So let's move to our next pair, which is the Euro USD. Euro USD on my daily chart still remain downtrend. We still have a downtrend structure on the Euro USD, which indicates more sell. So we still have this higher high, and we also have a lower high. We also have a lower high. Then we also have a series of lower high, and on these levels, lower high, which indicate that Euro USD still remain on a downtrend, which is the major structure of Euro USD still remain on a downtrend. So we expect more downtrend move on the Euro USD this week. So let's look at the weekly chart of the Euro USD. So on my weekly chart, price close on this resistance level, which indicates we are to sell for this week so long price close on the resistance level. So we expect price to move to this next weekly support level. So we expect price to move to this next weekly support level for the Euro US this week. So a break of this support level, we expect more downtrend. So let's go back to our daily chart. So on the daily chart, for our sell scenario now, because price close on the weekly resistance level, for the sell scenario, we expect price to break this support level, then wait for retest, then we'll start to sell the euro to the downside. Then for our buying scenario, we wait for a break of this level, then wait for retest, then we'll start looking for buying opportunity. So but this week our major direction is for sell because price closed on a weekly resistance level. So we'll look for more of sell this week after price has closed below this particular support level. Wait for the test, then we'll start selling the euro to the downside. So let's look at our next pair, which is the before we look at our next pair, if you are new to this channel, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more trading tips and forex analysis. So let's continue with our analysis. So we're looking at the Great British Pounds USD. Great British Pounds USD on my daily chart still have this downtrend structure. We still have a downtrend structure on the Great British Pounds USD, which indicates more sell for this week. We still have this higher high, then we have a lower high, we have a lower high, then we now have this inner structural movement. These are inner structural movements. So we expect price to break this support level, then we can start looking for our sell opportunity to the downside. So for now, the Great British Pounds USD still remain on the sideways, except to see price break below this support, then wait for retest before we can start looking for a sell opportunity on the Great British Pounds USD. So let's look at the weekly chart of the Great British Pounds USD. On the weekly chart, we have price close on this resistance level, which indicates sell opportunity for us. So long price close on resistance level, we expect British pound USD to continue to push lower with our target on this weekly support level. We expect price to move to this weekly support level. So we expect price to come to this weekly support level this in the nearest future. So let's go back to our daily chart. So our scenario for this week still remain downtrend because price closed on the weekly resistance. So for buy scenario, we expect price to break this high, wait for a test, for look for any possible buying opportunity. For the sell scenario, which is our major direction, we expect price to break this low, then wait for a test before start looking for any possible selling opportunity to this weekly support level. So we expect price to break this level this week, then we'll start looking for possible selling for the British pound USD this coming week. So let's look at our next pair, which is the Australia USD. Australia USD on my daily chart still have this downtrend structure. We have a higher high, the lower high, which indicates more bearish move for the Australia USD. So let's look at the weekly chart of Australia USD. On my weekly chart, we see our price close on resistance level, which indicates more of sell this week. So we expect the Australia USD to sell to this next support level. So a break of this support level, we expect price to this other support level. So let's go back to our daily chart. So on the daily chart for the sell scenario, we have to expect price to break below this support level. Then we expect a retest. Then we'll start looking for sell to this level. Then for the buying scenario, we expect price to break this high. Then wait for a test. Start looking for buying opportunity for the Australia USD. But our major scenario for this week, we have to look for more of sell this week. After we see price break this support, we expect price to we expect our sell of price from this resistance level. So look for more of sell on the Australia USD this week. So let's look at our next pair, which is the gold USD. So gold, you see the main uptrend. We see have a series of higher low, which indicates more of buy for the gold USD. So for our area of interest for us to buy the gold this week, we expect price to do a retest of this level, this weekly support level. Then we'll start looking for any possible buying opportunity for gold to the top. So then for the sell scenario for gold, we expect price to break this level, wait for a test, then we'll start looking for the sell opportunity. So let's look at the weekly chart of the gold USD. Gold USD on my weekly still pointing more of buying. So we look for more of buy on gold this week. So if you find this weekly analysis helpful, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more trading tips and forex analysis. Thank you for watching. See you in my next video.